Hello, friends. My name is Jerica, and I purchased this 1970s cottage farmhouse in the middle of the forest 2 months ago. Since then, I've been hard at work setting up my soap studio, learning about gardening, and turning my house into the cozy home of my dreams. Today, I'll be showing you how I make soap from beef tallow. I own a small soap business, and I'm hoping to integrate more of the forest and my garden into my products in 2025. In the 8 years I've been making soap from my home, I think that was a missing piece, the sense of connection to my products and my environment. I'm hoping that by building that connection through growing the herbs and plants, using the land, and learning more about the wildlife, I can create more meaningful products with intention. And I plan to show all of you that on this channel. Like I mentioned, I'm making a beef tallow soap. Beef tallow as an ingredient in skincare has skyrocketed in popularity, and I wanted to see what the hype was about. I formulated this soap using beef tallow as the main oil or fat, meaning that this bar will feel extra gentle and nourishing on your skin. The values in my soap calculator when I plugged them in also told me that this soap will be quite hard, which is always a good thing for the stability and longevity of the soap. I used a rendered beef tallow that I purchased from Amazon here, and I've linked that down below in the description. But I've since spoken to a local butcher who told me he can supply me with unrendered beef tallow at a really great price. I'll probably go with this option moving forward, as the idea of supporting a local business while spending less money on supplies is a win-win for me. Good morning, guys, and welcome to a room you probably don't recognize, but this used to be my dining room. But this room has by far the best light out of any room in this house besides the office, so I decided to take this room back. This room was a dining room, like I said, but even when we hosted people, everyone just gravitated towards that side of the house. So instead of using this room as a dining room, I decided to turn it into my craft space, my library, my study, my drawing room, and I'll give you a quick tour in just a second. So here is my new living room, sitting room. There used to be that table in the middle, and this is where we had staged our dining room, but it was very rarely used. And one thing you will notice with this room is how bright it is. And so I just wanted to be able to hang out in this room, and I couldn't really do that if it's staged as a dining room. So I put these two couches here. Actually, one's an armchair, the other one is my couch, and I have sat here most of the morning enjoying my coffee, enjoying the beautiful light that comes in. And I have also put this bookshelf in here with all of my books and also a few of my thrifting finds, like my bean pot. This is one that I've showed on my channel. And up here is another bean pot that Kale actually found at a Goodwill that we really liked. And if we look closer, there's this really nice ship on there, which I really, really like. And this is an old record player that Kale's aunt gave to him, and we have it proudly displayed. We never could find a good place for it in our previous houses and in the other bookshelves that we've had before, but it seems to fit here perfectly. And of course, here is the making craft space. This was our former dining room table. Now it's just going to be a table where I work at, whether it's for cutting soap or doing puzzles or reading or drawing, whatever my heart desires, because this light comes in here beautifully all day, in the morning and in the afternoon. It's wonderful. And that is where I plan on cutting my soap today. So over here is a hutch that I found on Facebook Marketplace. And this hutch is not complete. We were able to just bring the bottom piece for now, and we have a second piece that has more drawers that goes on top of this piece. So this is going to be just another beautiful place to store things, to display things. I get a lot of my furniture from Facebook Marketplace because you can get such amazing pieces at amazingly low prices. So I highly recommend, if you're looking for furniture, to check out Facebook Marketplace. It's a great, great resource. Look how pretty this is. And I will show you guys what it looks like when it comes in, probably in this video, because we are going to be picking up the piece tomorrow. Today is New Year's Eve. We are going to be spending it with our friends. And after that, on New Year's Day, we're going to be heading to the farm where this hutch used to live, which is a whole other story. We really clicked and vibed with the people who used to own this piece of furniture. And we're just really excited. There's just a lot going on, a lot of happenings already, and the year hasn't even started yet. As you guys know, this is my first time attempting tallow soap, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I'm not sure if it was the batter or the fragrance oil, but this took a really long time to stick blend into a trace that I find ideal for pouring into the mold and sculpting the tops. It took a really, really long time. So if you're looking for a soap recipe that gives you a lot of time to swirl and to plan, maybe you're a beginner, then I would definitely check out Brambleberry's Parisian Pink, because that is the fragrance oil that I used in these soaps. And I would also check out this recipe, because if you're also looking into tallow soap, this is a great recipe for that. So, see, look how bright everything is. I love it. Let me set things up as I would like them. As some of you may remember, Parisian Pink was my favorite scent from the Coquette Brambleberry fragrance line. And it smells so good in the soap. Look at that. Hold on. It might be too bright here. Look at that. How beautiful. We are firmly leaving Christmas behind with this soap. definitely a New Year's soap. I am like in shadow if I don't lean forward, so that's something that I might have to remedy. Hold on a second. I'm gonna lay this beautiful soap across my soap cutter. Let's see. I'm concerned a little bit about the flowers, but if it gets cut in half, then I'm okay with it. I'm gonna be fine. We might see some resistance. Yep. So here's the loaf end. I like to show this part first. Okay, I love this. Oh no, look what happened here. Because of this giant chrysanthemum blossom bud thing, it just scraped the side of my soap, but that's okay. I think it looks fine. And here are the last 2 bars of that soap. Beautiful. So I'm trying out a different angle for cutting, and you can see my face now, so that's pretty good. This is the second loaf. I've only made about enough for my soap of the monthers and my golden bubble patrons, but I always have just a little bit extra, which I will post on the website beginning of February. But it's only a few bars. So far, I will say that my beef tallow experience has been a positive one. All right, second loaf getting cut. And for those wondering, yes, I did cut my own bangs for the new year. New year, new me. Here it goes, loaf number 2. And here is loaf number 2. The colors aren't as pronounced in this one, interestingly. I do remember that this loaf was a little bit runnier than the other ones, so the colors are not going to be as pronounced, but they're still pretty. See that? Beautiful. I wonder why the white didn't show up as well. Maybe I didn't use enough titanium dioxide, which is what I like to use to give my whites a bit more of a pop. This soap actually reminds me of a soap I used to make. I called it lemon shandy. It had that lemon sweet floral vibe that this soap is giving, but it's a lot more floral. I stopped making that one because it didn't sell as well as my other scents, and I was looking to scale down. And I think that's something I'm going to be doing for 2025, is scaling and simplification. And those are the last bars. Look at all this mess, all these extra petals. Oh well. What I'm doing now is I'm making my sample bars, and I do that with all of the end pieces of my soap loaves. And it's because they may or may not be the same size as the rest of my other bars, because I have to align them a very specific way. It could be just a couple of milliliters off. So I just create sample bars, and these are actually a pretty popular product on my website. I find that I'm getting a lot of new customers, a lot of first-time customers. They could be one time, but a lot of first-time customers that visit me and find me through my YouTube, through my Instagram, and they might not want to invest their money into a full-size bar. So it's nice to offer them a little sample, basically just half of the full bar, to see if they like it. It's very low risk to them, you know? And I wrap these up and label them just like I do with the full-size bars. And it's been going really well. Also, the end pieces don't have the full swirl sometimes too, so it's just kind of a nice way to use up these ends and present them in a way that they're just as nice as the full-size bar. All right, so, oh, that was loud. I'm right by a roadway. I don't know if you've noticed that in my videos, but you might see cars passing by, or you might even hear them once in a while. But I have finished cutting these. Kayla's on his way home. I think I might do some gardening today because it is a sunny, beautiful day, so I might just get out there and work on my garden a little bit. Welcome everyone to my garden. I have to do this task that I've been putting off for quite some time now, but it's a beautiful sunny day, which is really rare this time of year, so I'm going to take advantage of it, work in my garden and prune down these peonies over here, and maybe the peonies out there too, which I'll show you. I asked for your guys' opinion on what to do with these peonies. Should I just leave them for now, or should I cut them to the ground? And the response was mixed, but the majority of you guys said to cut them. So I'll do that. I'll cut them right to the ground. And then I will take these leaves and put them in my compost bin. I have a few bins over there that the previous owner left behind. So that's good. And I might get to pruning some of this sage, which has grown wild over here. It's like a big tangled mass of sage. All right, let's go ahead and start cutting. Out of all the plants in my garden, I'm the most excited to see these guys come back. I don't know when. I've started a garden log to see when these flower. Oh, these are so waterlogged because we've had so much rain. So they're a little damp. Kayla and I have been taking a lot of walks around this property, and the more we walk around here, the more we discover various plants that the previous owner, had planted. So we want to see what they look like in the spring, because I would hate to get rid of anything that I love. And it just looks like a weed right now because it's overgrown. You can see by these dead branches that this peony was quite bushy and full and healthy when it was here. I am not sure what this plant is, but it looks like she has cut them down in previous seasons because I can see some branches there that have been cut already. So I'm going to cut these down too, but I'm not going to pull this plant out because I have no idea if it's a good plant or not. So this whole bed's going to get cut down to about an inch off the ground. And then maybe I can mulch it, or does this sound crazy? What if I just put all the cuttings back into this bed? You know? Does that sound weird? I'm so new to this. I might just layer this bed in the clippings. Put it right back in here. And that way, hopefully it'll kill some of the weeds that we've got going on here. We've got some rogue parsley growing here as well. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. If you guys have any guesses as to what this plant is, here are the little flower ends of it. Let me know in the comments. I'm feeling it's some sort of herb. The root ball of this plant is pretty thick, which tells me it's mature and has been a plant that has grown here for quite some time. I don't think I will leave these in the garden because they're quite woody. Yeah, what are these? You guys have any guesses? I am stumped. See over here is what I'm talking about. These branches here that have been cut, they were not cut by me. So I think that was a pruning job that was done earlier this year. I'm gonna just cut them even shorter, get them closer to the ground. For those wondering, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, Washington specifically. Things grow here pretty, oh, just got whacked in the face by that, pretty easily. But that doesn't mean you can just put seeds in the ground. It's best to get to know the plants so you can get the most out of your garden. And that's what I plan to do. I want to get to know everything that grows here. I think this is another herb here too. Is it? I don't know. Could be a weed for all I know. I think I have some rogue parsley. Let me show you. Oop, there you go. Over here. It's growing in this bed. Just pull it out. Yeah. Let's take out this parsley that's in here. That root's staying in there, but as you can see, I have a lot to repair as well. These need to be fixed, maybe completely replaced. They're pretty rotten and soaked, so we might have to just put brand new 2x4s in this garden bed. Looks like we have a little carrot over here. Push down and then up is what people told me. Down and up. This kind of looks a little bit like a turnip, actually, or a parsnip. All right, this garden bed is completely done. Although there are some weeds over here. I think I'm just gonna leave them in the ground for now. Cover everything with those leaf cuttings over here. Just put these right back in to here. Okay, so I have covered this bed. Now to tackle the peonies that are also in this bed. And this bed seems to be sharing the space with parsley, thyme, these tall things that I'm not too sure what they are. And in that bucket over there are chives. Maybe I should paint the handles of these guys a fluorescent color so I don't lose them like that so easily. Like a fluorescent pink or something. So here is one of those plants that hasn't shriveled up and dried up and died. And I looked this up on my phone. I've been doing this a lot with my iPhone. And it shows you what it could possibly be. And this is parsley. This is just the flowering part of parsley. And these really tall stems are the parsley that has grown up and flowered and self-seeded. And that's why we're getting a bunch of parsley down here right now. Some of these stalks are so thick, like tree-like almost. Because the parsley has been allowed to grow into flowers and so prolifically, I have parsley all over this garden. Let me show you. It's all over the floor. All of this is parsley. There's parsley all over here. Parsley along the edges. And just in random spots everywhere in this garden. My goal this year is to tame it. I don't want to pull them all out because I love parsley. I love cooking with parsley, but I definitely want to limit the amount. And the fact that she has grown this parsley in this bed, or I don't know if she did. I'm not sure if she intentionally grew parsley there. And she also grew thyme in this bed and also the peonies. My guess is that if it was done intentionally, that parsley grown in the same bed as peonies and thyme They all help each other. They all help enrich the soil. So I don't want to disrupt that. This bed is a big mess. In addition to the parsley, I don't know what those plants are in the corner. And I don't have any intention of pulling them up because they might be something cool. But I'm almost done gardening in this bed. I might tackle the sage though. We'll see. Here is my wild sage plant. It's massive, and I have to cut her back. Now, when it comes to pruning things, you really want to look up when to prune a plant because you could be hurting it. And I think now is a good time. I looked up when to prune rosemary. I don't think now is a good time, but sage should be safe to go. And also for my research, I learned that you don't want to cut more than 1/3 of the plant. And I want to cut down all of these like dead bits, or they look dead to me, just like the extra woody stems. Like this whole area could probably be cut, but my shears aren't strong enough for that. Let me bring in the big guys. These might have a little bit more power. Why aren't you opening up? These big guys. Let's see. Right over here. That was so satisfying. Yeah, this big branch. Oh, it had some sage leaves on it, but it's mostly just dead. Oh, it smells so good. I love the sage plant, but it's grown so leggy that I might have to pull her out sooner rather than later and start fresh. As much as I would hate to do that, there are a few sage plants here. Are they all one big sage plant? There are so many different branches just spreading out that I'm not 100% sure where it ends and where it begins. Mostly I'm just trying to cut the unsightly branches. Ones that don't look like they're growing anything, but it's about 1/3 of this plant, I think. And all the parts of the plant that look like they're done growing for the season, growing leaves. Until next spring, I'm cutting those off too. Giving it a haircut pretty much. Like all this stuff at the base, I think needs to go because we want height, not a wide thyme plant. Sorry, sage plant. Getting my herbs all mixed up here. And cutting these dead branches at the bottom helps to give the plant some circulation. Air circulation, that is. Will help it to breathe. Get some air down in its roots. Because when it starts to get thick like this, it's super congested. There's a lot that needs to be cut from this plant. I thought it was going to be a quick 1, 2, 3 snip, but I might need to return to this because we have to get going on our road trip to our friend's house soon. But I'm glad I started on this because it's long overdue. I can see where someone has pruned this bush before, probably many times over the years. I've actually heard that once a sage bush reaches 5 years old, it's too woody at that point, and you have to just tear it down. But I've been using the leaves for cooking from this bush, and the sage is delicious to me, so I don't know about that. But in terms of form and aesthetics, I can definitely see how after 5 years it can be a little too bushly for your garden. It could be turned into an eyesore. I'm interested to see what this bush will look like in the springtime when it flowers, because that might be absolutely gorgeous. Okay, here is the progress. These are all of the branches on it, and I still have more to cut. This whole area here really has to be thinned down, and I want to eventually be able to give a little bit of space between the sage and the rosemary bush, because I think there's a lot of overgrown bits of sage in here. It'd be nice to see the ground. And it looks like Kale is joining me. This is cool. This rosemary is flowering right now. That's how warm it is in December. So I'm going to call it a day. I think I've done enough work in the garden, and Kale and I are going to head to our friends for New Year's Eve. And then tomorrow, maybe I'll do some more gardening. More peonies need to be cut. Let me flip you guys around. There's Kale putting away my garden tools for me. But there's peonies out there. And then there's this tree over here that is blossoming, and we think it's a cherry tree. I'm going to bring you closer, and maybe you guys in the comments can help me out figure what this beautiful tree is. So here are the peony plants out here that I was talking about that I need to trim. And then over here, this is just incredible. I have no idea what this tree is, but it is producing the prettiest blossoms. And if I show you the trunk and the bark of the tree, maybe you can help me out more. My phone AI says it's either a plum tree or a cherry tree. Good morning, guys, and Happy New Year. We are clearing some stuff off the tree today, taking down more Christmas decorations, and we're actually going to pick up the second piece of the China hutch that I found on Facebook Marketplace. So it's going to be a pretty busy day, and because the weather is so nice outside, I'll show you what outside looks like in a moment. I'm probably going to go back out there and do some more gardening, and we'll see what else I do today. But I'm going to try to be productive and start the new year off on a good foot. Is that how it goes? Look at that blue sky, a rare sighting right now in Washington State, but it is looking gorgeous out there. So we have taken down quite a few of the balls, and now all that's left are Kale's Santas, a few other precious ornaments that need to be put away nicely and with care. And Kale's mom made these beautiful pillows that we have to put away as well. I know a lot of people wait until the 6th to put away the Christmas decorations, but I think we're ready. We're ready to start a new year, huh?
Yeah, we'll start taking them down.
Yeah.
We've still got some lights up outside too.
Yep. And let me remind you guys what the China hutch looked like, or what it looks like without the second piece. I'm so excited to see it with its full second piece, all complete. And I still have to put away these soaps. They're over here, just hanging out. But they look so cute. I'm so pleased with this beef tallow formula. I really do think it's gonna make a gorgeous bar. Like, it's pretty solid. It actually feels a lot like the bars that I already make in terms of the consistency. But one thing I'm also noticing is that these are very hard already. Like, they're pretty solid. They were a 56 on the hardness. What do you call it? It was rated a 56 on soap calc and hardness. So I was a little worried about the batter being too hard or accelerating too fast, but it accelerated really slowly and resulted in a very beautiful hard bar. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
Hit the road? Yep. We'll be back, Gibson. We promise. here it is, the hutch in its new home. And there are glass panels that go in here, but she removed them for easier and safer transportation. And I just really love it. It'll add so much more storage to our space as well as some character for this room. And I'm really glad it's home and I got such a good deal on this. This was $125 on Facebook Marketplace, but it really ties this room together. Very happy that it's here. This room is a bit of a mess right now, but hopefully we'll have the Christmas ornaments put away and taken down, put in their boxes, and this will be down hopefully by today, but we've done a lot, so we're pretty tired. And I think I'm going to close out the video today. I was going to do some gardening, but it's getting late now and I have a lot to do still. So thank you so much for watching the first video of 2025. And I just want to thank all of you who watched all of the videos during Vlogmas. I'm sorry I did not close out Vlogmas properly, but I got so busy by the end of that week. I just couldn't do it anymore. But moving forward, look out for videos that I'm going to be posting weekly on Thursdays, and it will have soap making content. It will have some of the lifestyle content, and yeah, I think that's it. So until the next video, keep smiling, keep being awesome, and I'll see you in that next video. Bye guys. Where are my scissors? Oh no, my shears. Where did I put my shears? I lost my shears. I didn't bury them under that, did I? Oh man, I hope not. Oh my god. Yep, I buried them in the mulch.